there's so many ways to sports bet. There's no one way that say, hey man, this is the distinct way that you have to sports bet. There isn't that. What's up, everybody? Once again, welcome to Calculated Shots. It's yours truly, Smooth in the building. I appreciate everybody supporting, man. Everybody subscribing, everybody commenting, everybody asking me about picks. I appreciate all the interaction. I feel like we're helping each other. I'm learning some things, like a couple of YouTubers put me on a strategy or two, people that commented that I don't even know, but you know, we establishing connections, and I'm sure y'all learning from me too. So that's what we doing. We growing, we're taking calculated shots, and we're trying to get some money through sports betting. And over time, I'll bleed into some other things, but I do appreciate all the support. Hit another milestone recently, 600 subscribers. Started from nothing some months ago, man. So it's really cool to see all the growth, and I'm grateful for it as always. So in today's video, I just wanted to talk about some of the pros and cons of sports betting, because some people are new to it, or some people don't have a clue about it and hearing about it and probably wondering, well, you know, am I just gambling? Is it a lotto ticket? What can I even get from sports betting? Well, just to give you a few pros, and I believe there's pros and cons to almost everything in life, but just to give y'all a few pros, you can take a little bit of money and make it a lot of money. You can. I have, other people have, and studying and researching is only going to help that. So that's a simple pro. You can take a little bit of money and make it a lot. There's strategies where, you know, people take quite a bit of money and put that down and they grow that, and that's a more secure method. But you can also take a little bit of money and make it a lot of money, which is always good. I mean, that's good in anything. So that's a simple pro right there. Another pro is you get better when you're sports betting. The more you do it, just like anything in life, the more you shoot a basketball, you know, the more you snap your jab, you know, things like that. The more you read, you know, you naturally become more inclined at what you're doing. So even for myself with the sports betting, I noticed, like, for me doing so much researching on these teams, man, I'm knowing these teams front and back. Like, I'm knowing, like, how they perform aside from what I'm reading from the outlets, from Winners and Whiners, from OddsShark. I know, like, man, in critical games, man, y'all don't perform. Y'all scrub all these 500 and down teams, but when it's a critical, you know, a critical game against a big dog, y'all crumble. And I'm learning small little intricate things like that. But you get to really knowing all the teams, man, because you look at so many statistics and you're reading these different outlets and resources on them, and you get a strong feel for each team. And I'm talking about teams from hockey. I've never been a hockey fan like that, but I like hockey a little bit. I've watched a few games from sports betting, learning about it, and I know hockey, NBA stuff, some soccer stuff, which I've never been too good at soccer. So just from you sports betting over time, earning money, losing money, earning money, losing money, you're going to do both. You become better and more knowledgeable at sports betting. It just happens, and the more you research and the more work you put in to get, you know, you put in more work aiming for better results, you're going to get better at sports betting. So another pro is there's so many ways to sports bet. There's no one way that say, hey man, this is the distinct way that you have to sports bet. There isn't that. There's so many different ways to sports bet. So, you know, you got so many different strategies, and I've went over a few in some of my videos, and there's some other YouTubers out there that got some. But that's the cool thing about it, because you can, you know, do one pick one team in your sports betting. You know, it does not have to be a parlay. Parlays are very popular. You've heard me speak on parlays. Y'all seen me do pretty good with parlays. I've also lost plenty of parlays. But there's so many different ways to sports bet. And that's a pro in itself, because, which is another video, what I'm about to say is you can find your niche just from trial and error, just from taking $5, $3, and trying to find a method that helps you consistently grow money, you know. So there's many pros to sports betting, and a simple one is, you know, it's another stream of income. I was preaching that from the beginning of my videos. I'm not looking at day-to-day gains. I'm looking at, okay, over this year, I might have put up 10, 12 grand sports betting and walked away with 44,000 or 54,000 or 60 grand once I go back and do my math. And, you know, I'll be very happy with that, because that's a 40 to 50K stream of income throughout the year, and that's modest. Of course, I'd like to hit higher and, you know, raise the standard some, but I'm gonna keep it modest for myself. And, you know, sports betting alone is another stream of income that can be very beneficial to you if you put the work in. So that's another pro. And just to give y'all a few cons, you know, because there's always two sides of the token. A con of sports betting is, you know, I don't want to say lose. You're almost gonna lose at anything you do over time in life. If you do it repeatedly, it's kind of like, you know, a part of it. So, and if we hit every day on sports betting, we'd all be rich, right? Y'all wouldn't even be watching me. So a con of sports betting is sometimes you will feel like you've done all the right things and still get the wrong results. Like, man, I studied, I've been doing 2 picks, I put away the parlays. Why is one team going wrong on my 2 picks? I did 2 picks, I gained 2 picks. You know, something went wrong on 2 picks. And, you know, sometimes you can do as much studying as you want to, go on the best outlets, really deep dive into statistics all you want to, and sometimes you're gonna run into a bad beat, which, for y'all that's not familiar with terminology, a bad beat is just something that cannot be controlled. You know, a team that is maybe 75% set out to win this matchup, meaning the other team has 25% chance to win and the other team wins. That stuff like that happens. You'll never be able to control it. All you can do is research and study enough to where you form up which way you want to go in your head amongst these two teams. It should be no doubt anytime you make a pick, hey, I have 110% conviction in this team, enough to where I can't bet on the other team. And sometimes you still lose. That's okay. It happens. It's happened to me many a times. And other times I look back and be like, man, I couldn't have bet on the team that won. I couldn't have. I'm not mad. It just happens. You chalk it up and you take a calculated shot the next day or later that night or however you plan to do so. So you can do everything right sometimes and still be wrong in sports betting. You know, wrong meaning you didn't win the parlay or straight up 1 pick, 2 pick, whatever you did. So another con I'll say of sports betting is I've seen people get reckless with their bank. You know, maybe they're not hitting enough and they're spending too much money and they're like, damn, man, it's really taking a toll on my finances. Well, that's only going to happen if you don't plan accordingly and set some kind of, you know, I have a standard or a system, like every day I can only bet up to $25. However you do it, that's on you. But my finances allow me to gamble $25 a day. Not me, that's just an example for some of y'all. Sometimes I only do $10 a day. I might not be feeling a bunch of picks that day and I do a $10 parlay that day. And if that hits, hey, and if it doesn't, hey, your life goes on, right? So, you know, your money sometimes you can feel like your money's getting drained if you're not hitting consistently enough. I'm sure we've all been through that, like a cold streak to where it seems like, damn, man, I'm putting too much in and not getting enough out. But I always remind people and remind myself that you're better off if you sacrifice something ahead of time before, in my opinion, if you get into sports betting. So mine was, I reverted back to not packing any lunch for, you know, a while. It's peanut butter sandwiches, cans of soup, cheap stuff that I buy. One time at Walmart lasted me about 3 weeks, and I saved that expense because I would have been buying lunch $10, $12, $15 each day. So I have that towards sports betting, and then just trying to be prudent overall with finances so I can have a little more towards sports betting because I see the potential of it, and I'm sure y'all have too. So that's another con. Sometimes if you're not careful with your finances, you will, you know, find yourself putting too much into it and not seeing enough. There is a way to manage that. Just got to look in the mirror, sacrifice some out your life, and be better. Tying down a little bit. It does not take a bunch of money. You can limit yourself to $10 a day, $5 a day, whatever it may be. You know, what somebody else betting will never matter when it comes to your own finances, and it's always going to be different. So another con I would say is, you know, just the rough stages of it. When you're first learning, you know, you're probably not going to be hitting as much as you will later on when you get more familiar. You learn, you know, things to do and not to do on parlays. You're better at researching. You learn more about sports through your researching. You got to go through the rough stages. You know, I bet you Stephen, well, he might have been. I was going to say Stephen Curry wasn't born a great shooter, but Dell Curry, his daddy, he was a great shooter. So I think part of it was hereditary. But I was going to say Steph Curry probably wasn't born a great shooter. Probably was, but he put that work in. So, you know, I won't say I'm great at sports betting now. I'll say I'm pretty adept. I'm adept at it, and I'm getting better because I put that work in. I got through my rough stage. I kind of found a system that works for me, and everybody that's new to sports betting will go through that. You might have some beginners. I don't believe in luck. You might have some beginners' fortune when you're first betting and hit a few, but you will go through a rough patch, and that's okay. You're learning, and you're going to get better over time. The more familiar you get with terminology and what resources and outlets work best for you, so you know, okay, every time I want to look up two teams, I go to here and here, and you know, that's your checkoff list. But sports betting can be beneficial to you, and I feel like if it becomes too bad of a habit or too negative, you can always just turn it off. Also, unless you got the needle in your arm, don't do that. You know, they do have something on the Hard Rock that you can call for help. But that's just a few pros and cons to sports betting for y'all. Something to think about, and also helpful to people that are new to it and what they can expect from sports betting. Once again, man, I appreciate y'all listening to my insight, and I appreciate the feedback I've been getting. Y'all can click that like, click that subscribe. Please tell a friend, send them to my channel. You know, I'm posting pics throughout the week. I got a platform on the way here soon that'll be beneficial to us all. And I just want to say thank y'all, man. Keep tuning in. I'm going to keep it coming. Positive vibes, money vibes. Let's do it. Calculated shots. I'm out of here.